Okay, we're back on the Ace Attorney grind. This is part 10. Why are there so many parts to this? Anywho, I don't know where we are. Uh, yeah, we're on this. I feel like we already did this one, though. She dodged Mystic Elite's nest attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elite was on the defensive. Yeah, have we done this before? Mystic. Oh yeah, we have done this one. Yeah. Suddenly, Mystic Elite. Yeah, we have done this. What? Yeah, I think we lost a bit of progress, but we can get it back easily. This is the wrong thing. That was the wrong thing to object to. My bad. My. Okay. This is incorrect. We know because she got stabbed in the back, but Maya got stabbed from front. Yep. Objection. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris, huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. Well, what do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya face stabbed the victim, who had her back to Stone Lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Ah, this proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Ah! What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Yep, we've already done this before, I think. Ah, it's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and back, you get my drift? Is that all you have to say? Gulp, 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 gulp. I can't also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Objection! Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and analytical... The point... What did I just say? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting bearer of being a mother and daughter, yeah, and now she falsely claims that the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? Oh no, he's gotta say something very strange. There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? Correct. By the way, did you know the Inner Temple has a rule on nights when an acolyte is in training? Stone lantern in his garden is to always be lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini... Someone say something? On the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time, the wick was no good. In other words, it had to be nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the trading hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. No puns. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. Oh my god, stop it. If the staff was to drop, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite? No! Okay, that's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Like, kinda bad. You know? Bad. Okay, order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence, and maybe it'll rekindle a flame of truth in your mind. Stone lantern added to the court record. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Oh yeah, the Maya thing. Why, it's written in blood. Oh boy, so just didn't know about that yet. Written in blood. It it says Maya upside down. Well, what the? Oh yes, that's right. Be cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya. Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was drawing out of her body. Ah, that's... ooh. Hmm. I mean a lot of strange noises there. It certainly looks that way. Objection! Objection! Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are you all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. He can't see color red, so that's what he meant by that. Or he can't see blood. It's probably blood. Now I know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled the message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? He's shooken. Okay then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking in some way. I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I feel like, yeah, now it has been established that Miss Deucenet was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. What? Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. Hear what? What did you do after the Sister Iris's cover-up? Witness's testimony. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I removed the bloody body from the inner temple by myself, dragged it behind me all the way to across the dusky bridge, then used a snowmobile to carry it back to Asukara Temple, and... so she was the one who did it. The deed. I used the Shishito to alter the way it looked. Oh. Interessante. Very interessante. So you know the body. Yes, I was raised at Asukara Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. Why, though? Why do you owe that thing? It's not a good joke. We even saw it Never Imagined that at least Deuceman was actually Misty Fae. I committed terrible sin. Terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I don't know the quote exactly. I intend to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but you were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. The story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, time for cross-examinations. It's part of the nation. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I moved the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across the Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and Shishito to alter the way the wound looked. What the? I don't want to believe it. I don't think my logic is failing me. Why did the background... I was trying to pin the murder on the murder, but why would she want to do that? There's only one reason to think of. Why did the background become black? That's kind of scary. The temple dragged it behind me all the way across the dusky bridge. I mean, so this was the snowmobile tracks. I don't know. No, I don't think there's an objection here. Snowmobile. Let's just press some stuff. Called out to Maya. What do you mean? So you waited. Oh wait, she called. Okay, she waited until everything was over before making a move. No, it's not like that. Objection. She saw some murder right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't your job as a judge to mediate the argument? Yeah, that is true. The judge is quite... Yeah, he's the judge. That finally dawned on her what she had done. I moved the body from the inner temple myself. I dragged it all the way behind me. The bridge. Snowmobile. The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakurt Temple to the Dusky Bridge. It's part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more detail? About the snowmobile, about the tracks. About the tracks. That was a very big contention. He really did move her body by snowmobile. Then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. Then this picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these tracks from that ride? Yes, I think that they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakurt Temple. I see, snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? I think it's important. I don't know. I feel it's like, what? Okay. Did we disprove this? Lightning struck Dusky Bridge. Okay, snow 7 to approximate. Oh, she couldn't have gone over. Very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, a statement Iris was added to be made to the testimony, but does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. This should be fun. Shaking his head. I shake my head in real life. You, let's get the snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. Alright, by the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Alright, weather report. Where is it? Right here. Objection. What? No. Huh? That makes no sense. Bruh. I don't sound very sure. It's correct. It's true. I know. That has to be the only way. I use the Shishido. Okay, yeah. I don't like. It's so intense that like loop part. The bridge. Oh, right. Okay. I think. Wait. All right, that did it. Let's go. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m., but you couldn't have crossed the Dusky Bridge at that time. Well, why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and it caught on fire. What did you just say? The bridge? It was on fire? You don't mean to say you wouldn't know about it? It was because of the lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. How does she not know that the bridge burned down? It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you just try or deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. No! Oh, it's intense now. Order, order, order! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way she could have crossed the bridge. No body or no body. Witness, even my patience has limits. Any further lying and I'll find you in contempt of this court. You have anything to say for yourself? Objection. Why an objection? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you, Judge, or Phoenix. Old man? Yes, old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? I'm not squatting, you're squatting. You're tall. The important thing now is that, what did I just say earlier? The important thing now is to find out the truth, isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Luce Dusnam was discovered at Hazakar Temple courtyard. Second, the head nun, Sister Bikini. Witnessed Iris desecrating Luce Dusnam's body. He makes a good point, on both accounts. That's right. I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. Objection! You have stood at the witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? Objection. That is not true. It is only humans to err. If you're so perfect, right? Maybe you can explain this for the court? What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. Some of the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of a perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Ugh, well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got that burnt out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Oh my god. Alright then. Witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you've moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please find an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. That was a lot of text. Will this be her final testimony? Godot's thinking. About what? What are you thinking about? Moving the body. Now, other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gone confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning bridge? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. She was the one who was flying. No way. It was taken on the morning after the incident. But it certainly was burned to a crisp. And one of the suspension wires is gone. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't just fall. Huh? Can we get this in the court record, please? Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across the bridge in this condition. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder. Trite. I'm only gonna say it one more time. It's only human to err, and only humans can spot the error of our own ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. That doesn't make sense, or sense he makes. Alright, what? Huh? Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your... Did you say final? Final? Final. I need to speak properly. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body, so I must have just gotten confused. Snow still falling. Alright, saying there's a way to cross the burning bridge. It's probably not gonna be true, but whatever. I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm taking out the trash to disprove them. Huh? What? What? A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I won't exactly rule out the possibility. What? How is that the right answer? No way, you're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. Yo, I'm laughing right here. I'm laughing right here, right now. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's being pulled out of thin air. Pulled out of flying air. Their ideas of flying, and they're crashing and burning. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous. Bro just said preposterous. No, who is this preposterous? Who is this preposterous? Who is it? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out of here. Gotta keep an attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Dusnam's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Laurice Dusnam. Brilliant? Highly gifted? Apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony? That night he was at the mountain shack, Heavenly Hall, and that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. An exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Oh my god, they're all, are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? No, it's not, Your Honor. I wish it was. It is 1st of October, though. Not 1st of April. Close enough, I guess. Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim threw the air? You're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. What is a gasket? It's like a basket with the G, so it's a gasket. Ah, well tried. There's nowhere for you to hide now. Rather than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does the sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. You're so eager to turn this case upside down. Why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why did Godot say that? Alright then, wait, huh? What exactly is the sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is gonna forgive me for any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. What? I'm gonna turn my screen over. Oh, where did that go? This is very broken. Okay. Huh? That doesn't help. I'll open it for the correct record. Okay, let's look at my other screen. What? Why? That didn't help at all. Hopefully that doesn't look weird on your side of the things. Sketch bar is evidence of nothing, a complete contradiction. What was the last one? What was the last one? I want to trial and tribulate, but I can't tribulate in order to trial exactly what happened. A complete contradiction, evidence of nothing. It's exactly what happened, guys. Of course, the victim was flying through the air. You can't see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh! No. You're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness. What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear. Do you have any evidence that victim through the air? You know, they haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. I wish they had. Phoenix, be smarter. Even I'm Phoenix though, so you can use your last lure. At least you're 1 cup worth of shaming. I think we should skip the penalty this time. There must be some way. I just know it. There must be a way to use layer sketches to show the truth of what happened. Alright then. Wait, we actually don't get a penalty. What? One second. Just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I did it. I'm done. 1 second has been passed. Let's go. Let's continue. Okay. A complete contradiction? Something's obviously funny about the sketch. No record, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Loris Houston stated it over and over. This sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we were to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. Contradicts reality? Ha. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trite. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? This? Flying finger, naturally. After all, people haven't learned to... Or, no, it's the wrong thing. Mr. Wright, that answer just now, it was lethal. It was lethal. Her face is so smug. Mr. Wright, after dragging us all the way to the part of that answer was embarrassing. So I'm saying I'm actually blushing. Blushing only suits women, not the elderly. What? Point to something else. Your Honor, please give me one more chance. I'm in a tight spot right now. What I really need to do is turn this case upside down, so it's time for me to flip things around. Do you know what you're saying this time? Loris Dusman stated over and over that the sketch was exactly... Why did the game speed up? What was that? Is this wire connected to the bridge? The wire? Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality? Yes, it is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. Dusky Bridge photo. Yeah, what is this wire? The photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes, now, compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping Jehoshaphat. What is a Jehoshaphat? Jehoshaphat. What? The wires are below the guard wires. What? Order. The sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong? Or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. No. With someone like Lorice, I admit a mistake is definitely possible. But then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember when Lorice was doing what he wins the event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never gonna come. Waited and finally laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Larry must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates, but it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Ah! Ugh, no way. Oh, it says this is fire. Literally! Oh, Laurie's using him witness the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene of the crime that he saw was actually upside down. Yo. Wow. What does this prove, though? So then, the sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurie's Dusnam sketch is like this. What? But what does this do? Is that how it should actually look? What does that mean, though? What does this mean? Victim Marty wasn't flying above the bridge, he was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Ridiculous! Bro, he's not Reed White, he's not Luke Amy. Oh, he's objecting of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning a crisp. There's no way to get across it, but if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across with the other side, and the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means about that far from inner temple to... What is a yard? I need to go to, Google this. What is 20 yards to... It's 18 meters. Which means about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you'll need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'll have to plan ahead. No, you don't. The lightning strike that night could only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the criminal would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, the criminal... They didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of the criminal. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation for your theory. Oh my god, what makes you think you have to create a pendulum? I can't even save. I'm gonna have no health after this. What makes you think the criminal had to, when the rope had to create? What makes you think the criminal... Let's try that again. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? I guess it would be the photo? Like the weird stubby thing at the bottom? Not stubby thing, like the weird, it looks like a wire. So and looks pretty long, right? That's gotta be it. Yeah, okay, I don't see any way to doubt that. I was thinking, and the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, It's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. This is one of the wires from the bridge. Oh my god, when lightning struck to the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Dusnim's body. Whoa. Yo, because there's simply no other way to move the body. He's shaking his head. Ah. Oh my god. Godot, are you okay? Mr. Godot? Oh my god. It seems like that Mr. Godot was focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being ready available were very high, so I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Oh my god, yeah. Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. Just need one question. Did that really happen? Right, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Like, I don't know. Oh. What happened to my output? I need to get this wire fixed, bro. Do you have any evidence? Like, I mean, I guess the crystal sphere was found here. Yeah, I think this might be it. Yeah, before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Yep, looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was right in front of the inner temple. So then, what was the spot where the criminal? Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. The body was pushed from this point here. It would have dropped on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to cast the body on the other bank. What? When did you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that suggests your body drops some distance. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. Oh, right. That was like half between the two sides. The body swung over to its forward momentum, but came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. Oh, it's the one that came off of Miss Elise Dusnim's staff. And even more importantly is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed. I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found... Precisely, Your Honor. In this very spot, where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You proved us with a way the body could have been moved that night. What the hell was that? An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Oh, what the hell? Mr. Wright! I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? Yo, why is he acting so chill? Or that was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing. Oh, and what would that be? The aroma. Huh? Bro, what are you saying? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak coffeeness. Coffeenese. Coffeenese! I have knees that are made out of coffee. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent to the body to the other side, like you say, then naturally, there must have been an accomplice laying in wait to catch it. So is it Dahlia... Dahlia Hawthorne? An accomplice? But no, she's dead, so... Bruno wasn't able to cross the sticky bridge, so he collected the body. What do you have to say about that, Trite? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be a work of a simple... Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. I'm saving. I'm going to lose everything if I don't get this right. Like, I'm at, like, no health. So if I would, like, lose... Oh, I didn't need to do that. Okay, you must do this, Your Honor. Body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well, then. If you'll please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person who received the body on Hazuka Temple? It's of course Iris. Because it can't be Dahlia Hawthorne. No, like, it can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? But I... Oh no, I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport this body from Dusty Bridge by snowmobile, yeah. But with Sister, like, yeah. Okay, you're the only one that could have managed it. Objection! Right, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakar Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness. I've established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means now facts occurred, something you should have already known. No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about no pendulum. The body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you shouldn't have known about it. In fact, it would be impossible for you to clue us about this whole thing, unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? Yo, it's Dahlia Hawthorne. You're saying this when it isn't Iris of Hazakar Temple? That's Iris of Hazakar Temple? Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is... Yo, what? There's no one other beside Iris who could have received that corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach during this trial. Why her whole demeanor changed suddenly from yesterday. Why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand, her real name is... Yo. You know who this is? Dahlia Hawthorne. I ever thought I had to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Yo, we got that Investigation 2001 core music right now. Yo, some nostalgia. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris said, twin sister. And you're looking at her. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but some bells nonetheless. Ha, it's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. Oh, the honor is all mine. Wow. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. Yep. Oh yeah. Gulp. So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? Yo, what do you mean by that? Are you dead? How do you know? Wait a moment, how can you? My sister, she's already dead. What kind of objection? Nuh-uh. You of all people should know already understand. After all, the blood of the master of Korean channeling technique flows within that body. The Korean channeling technique? Now, where have I heard that? That's right, Your Honor. You're not Dahlia Hawthorne. What? You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently having the body of a spirit medium. What? What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy the Dahlia Hawthorne that just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things like that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? It's no coincidence, though. I don't think it's no coinky dink. Naturally, there's no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions. Ah, what's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them? Even the time of channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris was at dinner with the Iris who gave me this hood was also the real Iris. Meaning the Iris sister Bikini saw at Inner Temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling of spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found the plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing on the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Wait, how do you know? Tell me. Godot, to calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne had been channeled. Would have been stranded at the Inner Temple due to lightning strike. Whoa. Yo, that looks cool. It was later that body was moved by the pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that Iris received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. Then they found Iris in a room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that. Woo, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced. What do you mean? Little girl? You're like 20. So now, that didn't work. It looks like he's finally convinced. But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same night from the other night. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous? Why didn't she could have escaped? Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switch places? Switch places? That's not what I'm gonna say. It's impossible. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright? Since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia? There's probably one. Like, Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time which Iris was able to freely unsupervised. Who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move around freely like that? I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. Oh, was it Edgeworth? Oh yeah, cause he left. Yeah, it was the earthquake, right? Yep. An old friend. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? It is. Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? Ah, earthquake? Earthquake! Oh my goodness. The Inner Temple. This kind of tremor might... Yo. How could I have... She fled. She escaped. Yup, but we found her. We went to the Inner Temple right away. It's true, Iris is already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the Chamber Hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. And this is still Dahlia Hawthorne? That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here, no judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and be quiet. Oh! It's Dahlia Hawthorne! Yo, what? It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. No way. That voice. Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, all is asked for a name and profession. That's one of my rules. Is it though? Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired. I think that's called death. I'm going to turn on my lights. Wow. Ah. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. What the hell? Yo, that face is... What the hell? That's horrifying. What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again. And I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her and for myself. Yo, to be continued? To be continued screen. Can't sleep on a night like this. We're gonna have to continue this. I want this to be the final episode of this, like this long series. Alright, this record number 7. Do we have like a recess or something? What just happened? Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes? How can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well, it seems that we're to learn the truth. We'll need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that, but when you see what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. That looks horrifying. You look horrifying when you make that face. What is this? In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. Okay. The whole plan began with my death. What? A super plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. Before it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea for me was to kill Maya, and then have blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. So, Pearl was still meant to be the child. Hello. Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay? Yes. You have a problem with that? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, right? Why? I don't need to watch myself. If you got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's my rule. Mr. Godot is correct, and by the way, that's my rule as well. To kill Maya? Could it be true? Yes. That's the plan. But Maya is not dead. I don't believe it. The whole plan began with my death. Stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fate. Okay, let's just press on everything. You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay? Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Yep, she got arrested since I was on death row and she was my mother. It was actually pretty easy to meet with her. I see, so that's when you discussed the plan? Ha, are you crazy? First, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter. All to make her play the master of parade. She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally gain her lost honor. The honor she lost with the younger sister, Misty, took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she has been working on this plan. A plan, huh? A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister Iris? That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our own father. Abandoned? I just broke something. The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, and I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. You mean Iris? Dang, bro, that's such a sad backstory. You just get abandoned. Her own father. Oh. And mother. Yes, my father remarried a woman who had also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? On top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. Huh, how horrible. The real horrible one was that woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Fortunate for her, Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto the child's poor back, all because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. For it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. You look so horrifying when you say that. This is like uncomfortable. Like what? Maya would have to die, but why? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus make Pearl the new master, the remaining sense of the current master had to be taken care of. The Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of the daughter and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well. How could anyone do that? The idea was for me to kill Maya and have the blame Hilda and Iris. You? You were going to kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have to simply use her body and finish the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you could do it to do them. So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger sister, or Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally, they would think it was Iris that had done it. The witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night, but she wound up seeing Iris' crime anyway. But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she? Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. Bro, you guys were like dating one time. What the hell happened? The plan went wrong, but it succeeded anyway. Oh, wait, right, because, yeah, murder. Well, you think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just ask that woman that hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Now title master will pass on to Pearl Fey. What? That's absurd. Maya is she's trapped. Trapped inside the sacred cavern. She's trapped before and she's trapped again. You can't say anything. Really? Yes, really. I'm going to come back. I'm going to take one more second. Just one more second. I'm back. That was 1 second. Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny. Yo, 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 yo. She said the line. She said Feeny. That's so funny. Yo, Feeny. Oh, Feeny. Yo, yo, yo. Huh? You want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. You sniveling and naivete, and your pathetic faith in other people. Oh my god, they're really making us hate her. I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fay's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point. No value other than fulfilling your own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? You may not understand it, but being the kind and gentle soul you are, you may not appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me, why? Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction. What did you just say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead? Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was? Obviously, it's because you are helping Morgan Fey. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal. Why would she want to murder Maya? All they wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get that revenge. It looks like I have no choice to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. Present what evidence? It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well. What? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Yo, that might be why. It's because of Mia Fey. I understand your goal now. Why? Okay, look. Let's go! Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fem? It looked like it said FE with no Y. Like, the Y was not there. It didn't render. Y Fei herself? As I said, none of you have the power to punch me anymore. I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. You want to take revenge on someone? I was sentenced to die because of that woman. Mia Fey. Got core 2001 again. I somehow knew this was it. I wanted to send her a message. It was out of her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. The reason— where is Pearl in all this? She was in the courtroom. Hope she's not in the defense, or like, where? Or perhaps Mia Fey had already died? Yes, then I realized there is only one way to take revenge against the dead. How do you do that? Judge, don't get any ideas. Okay? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, lives on forever. Okay, I would take away the person Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That way I could be the one and only to take revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans. Okay. Yo. Okay, just for that you would kill Maya. Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you there's not a thing you can do to me. That night... Oh, at about 9:30 p.m. I materialized into this world, quickly pinned my hair up, put on a demon warding hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazukur Temple. So, it was at least Dusina who channeled her after all. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple, and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... Whoa. Yo, that image of Maya looks horrifying. Yo. That was brutal. So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute? Maya Fey must have stabbed me, I'm sure of it. That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a french fry with a... What? Maya wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork. That's really weirdly read. Why is F capitalized? Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness, but before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? Interesting. Don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my only two hands. The very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Some have been trapped in there. How did you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead. I swore I wouldn't return into the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. You're a ghost. You're one tough cookie. Now to get out of there, make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. The trick lock stopped you. Huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you are actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. It wasn't easy. Kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge, so I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. That morning, only 2 people could have gone to the training hall, Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging skull in gravy. Oh, I'm imagining that now, and it's so sad, because there's a murderer there. So I managed to finally remove the lock, but I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. Realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse, I hope. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real Iris? She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. Came up with the sacred cavern, got a feel for the situation. Oh my god, what? And I locked her away in my place. That's horrible. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean, your plan had succeeded? I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fey. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions, but I was wrong. The person that I actually called my spirit back was... Misty Fey. Picture book author. Yo, what? Nothing to what about that? That's not that surprising. That's only one possibility. Her left conscience in the garden. It was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fey, I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all, but even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. That is matricide. The sin of killing her own mother. There's a word for that? Matricide. I don't want to ever use that word ever. Instead of killing her own mother. No way! Bro, Phoenix. What did you do? How did you let this happen? Oh, because someone fell off a bridge. Order in the court. What is this meaning of this? It's the wrong button. Let's be. It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey, but even so, the murderer who actually stuffed out Misty Fey's little life was none other than your darling little Maya. Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? What? What do you mean? What is so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fey had disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Eagle River? Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself onto the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. Yo, what? So, what do you have to say now? Feeny. Oh, Feeny. Oh. Ugh. Bro sounds like... Oh. Yo, is that... Whose phone is that, bro? Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. This is such a banger. This is just the entire song. Alright, let's answer the phone. What kind of ringtone is that? It's his theme song. Phoenix, yours is the Steel Samurai. Okay, Godot here. Okay, thanks. What? Was this something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? Bruh, there's a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh? Looks so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just got finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No. I can't be. You did kill her. Told you, didn't I? She's dead. No. No! Yo. It seems that this case has come to an end. No! A tragic end. You can't do that. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Dustin, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death in the raging waters of the Eagle River. It can't be. No, yeah, it can't be. Ha. What? Hello? He's shaking his head. Right. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into Eagle River. However, isn't that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means that Maya had thrown herself into the river. It must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge. That's right. That's why she jumped from. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, right? Just relax and think through the whole thing again. Oh, 'cause it's all land. Okay. So it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River. Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims to his faith threw herself in the river from the inner temple. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Exactly. It's possible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple. No one knows better than this witness. What did you say? 11 years ago. You jumped into the very same river. Oh. She woke up. Take a look at this overhead map. Yo, let's zoomed in now. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh, you're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Well done. So you finally figured it out. You. No! Order. You're just playing with me. Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of Eagle River. There's no possible way where she could be all hiding. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth? Yes, just a few minutes ago. Maya Fey was inside the sacred cavern. We are now allowed to throw herself in the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. Well, what? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a bluff. So where's her dead body, then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dolly Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya Fey is? In her temple? No. In the Husker temple? No. It's very cordial. Yo, no way. only... Oh! Dahlia Hawthorne's being channeled by Maya. Namely, she's right here in the very courtroom. What? Maya Faye's here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Oh, she's not in the talking place. Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said... I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there is one more thing you should understand. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fay, that pathetic little sniveling runt. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. It's the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation why you can channel a spirit? It could have happened if someone else is already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to right about now, am I correct? Ah! Aha, it wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. Maya Faye. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already, I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be... Maya Faye! What? What? Yup, that is correct. But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal? She said her goal was to kill Maya Faye. Yes, that's right, but if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Ha. Well, Grams, what would happen? Could it be? It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. There's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself? From me? Yes. On the night of the crime, you were the only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Faye. Yo, Phoenix, why'd you say it like that? Why was it in, like, weird letters? The path to the inner temple was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide? You mean, that's when she channeled me? All along you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you. You are the hiding place. Don't say that. Oh, she's mad. Oh my god. You are saying that I was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Faye killed herself. Isn't it obvious? Objection? Objection. Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. It's the only avenue of escape open to Maya. You knew that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. Yeah, this little girl like that would have never been out in the real world. She could never come up with a plan like that. Who would have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Yo! It's Mia Faye! And Pearls was... Oh, no. Pearls was there the entire time. But Mia Faye! I'm going in all demon mode on this voice. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh my god. Everyone's like, bro, what? Godot, why you look so shocked, bruh? So it's true. It was you. Yes. Ha. You're something else. But what are you doing? That hair. It's Pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. Now I want to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple garden. And then in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. Oh, and then Maya's, like, shocked face. I was stabbed by Maya Faye, actually. Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did? Not terribly surprising, she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained it in a memo the situation was in. She asked me what I thought and she should do. She did that? I can't believe it! Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear, and that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so wrote down two things that Maya had to do. Channeling Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put the locks on. Oh, yes, but why did you order her to do those two things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Faye. Pearls? Yes, Pearls didn't properly understand the plan. So all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent along. How dare you! I won't forget this! Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago. Gosh. The fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on $2 million diamond, but... Oh no, Terry Falls. His death made me cry. Bro, like, actually, after Terry Falls escaped and went home to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth is exposed. Just shut your mouth! This wasn't my fault. Because of that stupid oath of a prisoner and the weakling of policeman. Don't call him an old. Sad. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. That's correct. As a result, you're sentenced to death. Finally. But after 5 years, really? That's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You'll wipe that smile, happy-go smile off your face. Okay. And now this. You messed up again. You let Maya Faye escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Faye. I almost... oh my god, my voice. You spinster. I was supposed to get Maya Faye like I swore I would. When you had gotten the spike here, jerk that guilty verdict. I wouldn't have hanged and just... True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? When you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you'll never defeat me. As long as I'm around, as long as I'm around, you'll always have a friend. You're destined to lose for all of eternity. That was a Sonic reference. I remember you said it earlier in the trial. You said there's no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. But there is one way to punish you. What about it? Then you said even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. And for all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who could never win at anything. And for you, there's no escape for that, no hope for freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burned to a crisp. You... oh! Why is it capitalized like that? That's so funny. Is this the climax of the thing? You're wrong. Oh, like the screen is just shaking. Yo, chill out, bruh. It can't be. Oh my god. Yo, Dahlia, chill. Why did you only say 2 dots? Hello? How could I lose to the likes of you? How could I look to the likes of you? No longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh, that is horrifying. I paused the game. God. Oh my god. Oh, she's screaming. Oh, that's horrible. Dahlia? Are you okay? You've become a tentacle monster. Your hair is now like a monster. I'm not ready. Not ready to go. Oh, what the? One, two, what? 9. It's the symbol of the Fey clan. All your past failures burning as one little fire that got put out. Oh, look, it's Maya. That's nice. She's back. And now we can live a happy ending. Hello, Maya? Nick? Sis? She's about to collapse on the floor. Just like the first time we met her. She's on the floor collapsing. She's dead. She's not dead. Because that would just be the worst ending possible. Now then, I assume you are the real Iris? Yes. I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say you and your twin sister are identical from what I can tell. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? Yeah, what did happen? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to hell where she... It looks like she went back to the hell where she came from. It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, I see. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concentrated effort to study up hard on the Korean channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the new year issue of Occult? We have that one. I've seen quite a few things in my years on the bench, and all that time I finally learned that this one thing. Each case is different, and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Oh, Godot. We're done with the trial. Please, let me win! You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? What? Trite? What? Huh? Remember what Miss Evil, Miss Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger and I got from a storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. No way. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was a spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Dusnim, no, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? Bro, what is happening? No, unless, of course, if someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. Prosecution's ready to call out our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Oh, we got trial 2004 on here. Indeed. It's really alright, Mr. Prosecutor. Of course it's alright, Madame Attorney. Wait, he's calling Mia. Who is this final witness? Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event in full pride no lag on his cares. Someone who saw the murder take place. The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own. Oh wait, it's Maya. My bad. I was like, the way they said that was just that's okay. She can't testify of all that she's been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Fey to the witnesses stand. Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Fay to recover. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we'll proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite, we got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint of understanding the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time you're going to have to do this by yourself. Okay. That's enough. This court is now in recess. Yo. Oh, don't cry, Iris. February 10th, 2:56 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Alright. Let's do this. I'm truly sorry about everything. It seemed weird not seeing Dahlia in the corner. You're working so hard to defend me. It's now just says Iris. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root for you. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up in this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get out help at the secret cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister, I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakar Temple. Is Dahlia a psychopath? I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She could never complain about a thing. That's why I, that's why I promised her that I would help her. Oh, it sounds like Carrie Falls. Are you talking about that fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, oh, Dahlia, half-sister Valerie, ended up... That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. Oh... But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people, you must mean. Yes, two defense lawyers, Mia Fey and Diego Armando. Why did they say it like that? After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person and then knowingly hid the poison from her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing I have to ask you. Guess what is it? You deny the murder. The person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Deucenham. Was it really you? Yes, it was me. Oh, that after rang out the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Oh, her cell phone's gray. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. Hi, I got one snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but... Oh... Or 2002. Path was cut off to the inner temple. Exactly. You can't just leave the body here. Alright, let's do this as you said. That was a dead body. It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed much. Staff the mystic Belize always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hezekiah Temple on the snowmobile. Oh, but why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know the staff was a murder weapon. I didn't want to leave any feedback to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shishito. I left the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. This version of like the scene is so dark. Like just like the image in the background. I don't know why. It just like it's eerie and it's cool that they did that. Because I think there's like 30 versions of that same image now. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. Real killer. Sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. I see. So it's not Dahlia Hawthorne? Defendant. Yes, the judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you later. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. That's kind of suspicious. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix? Oh, hi, Mia. How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. Emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Deuceman really was? Yes. Went to the medical office and talked to her. Told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure out the answer by yourself. Your trial's about to restart. The real killer? Do you know who it is yet? Iris would tell me who called her name, but still, I think that maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. The criminal wasn't there just by accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. One more thing. The victim was moved to Husker Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the criminal was someone that wasn't in Husker Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. You're standing sideways. That's weird. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? Who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. Oh my god. This case, man! I'm trying to do this all, but like in one, like the last bits in like one thing. I wanted to do it in part 10, but like it's already an hour and 30 minutes. February 10th, 30:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. I'm cold. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Test? Wait, what? Yes, test. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. What? Yeah, I forgot about it. I don't remember that. That was the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought the victim. The blood results was the victim's blood, or due to time constraint, full test was impossible. However, do we know who it isn't? There's one thing we can say with certainty. So how can you not perform a full test and only know some? Full dagger blood. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. So whose was it then? That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger? Did Maya stab herself? Like, whose was it? Yeah, whose was it, bro? I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence of their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So, let's finish this quickly. It's not what I heard, but yeah, we should finish it quickly. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. It's Maya. Hello again. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager in Ranclo Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fae clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. The pain that the Fae bloodline causes must be unbearable. Oh, very well. Now then, Miss Faye, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple, and you witnessed the moment Miss Elise Dewson murder. Is this correct? Hi, am I? I didn't see anything. Oh, straighten up this moment, young lady. Huh? Pick up your head and speak clearly. Wait, this is the second game's music. Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. Oh my god. Godot's like, there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watched by the whole thing, right? You're watching the whole thing, right? You've seen witnesses come out and you see him scream the shoot out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony on the night of the crime. What exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. Oh my goodness. Witness testimony at the inner temple. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. Oh, I stumbled and I ended up against a stone lantern. Think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. Something warm? What? Struck on the head? Suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dolly Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Oh my god. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems like that it'll be hard to determine the criminal testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. No, she does not. Passing through the garden on the way is fairly prepping. When it happened, suddenly someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I want to press on this one. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There's only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well, now, it's beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Maya, you are such an idiot. Please be smarter. That is not the things that you need to think of. My name is Maya Fey. 1 plus 1 equals 2. See, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. Now it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So what did you do then? I think I screamed, "Help me." Something warm splashed over me. You don't mean, was it... I don't know what it was at the time, but I think it was probably blood. She's saying that when Miss Dewston was channeling Dahlia, stabbed in the back by the killer. At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting in the snow. I'm sure blood got around everywhere on me. That's when I lost consciousness. So what happened next? Oh, that's disgusting. Being splattered with blood. I don't remember. Now, how are you saved? You don't even remember that? No, I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. I've worked side by side with mine for 3 years now. When she hides something, I can tell by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. I was passing through this garden on the way through a spare room. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. Stumbled. Help me. You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I'm scared of my wits, believe me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. I thought this person might attack me, Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought it was my last hope. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? My last hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What do you mean by your last hope? No, no, no. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah, but you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, that's like what you call it when that happens. Mine's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah, oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I screamed for help. Oh, what is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying behind the attacker? There was another person? I am. Well, yeah, I meant to keep that part a secret. Oh, what have I done? Ha. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. Ton of pressure. You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you present is vital to this case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I could see a man behind the attacker by the light of my stone lantern. How do you know it's a man? Maybe it's just thinks person. A man? What's this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. Couldn't see? You used to this excuse twice now. Well, lantern light is a very bright lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light an acolyte for their training. Hey, you know what they say, under the lantern, darkness reigns. They could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker was closer. Plus, there were any other light sources in the garden at the time. That's quite strange. That's very strange. Because the light in the lantern was told yeah. That's gotta be the thing that's wrong here. Come on, bridge to the turnabout. I'm doing some good here. Was not lit on the night of the crime. See? Yeah. Iris said she didn't light it. So you're saying there's a man behind your attacker? Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her but from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Deucenim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. Yo, 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 chill out for a second, Phoenix. That's sensitive. You know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Yup, that is true. Order in this court, Mr. Godot explained this. Why Mr. Godot? Add the pureness of milk to perfect clear dark. Pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That's the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? What do you mean by that, Your Honor? Mr. Trite words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must have not noticed. You mustn't have noticed the truth, Trite. This witness mental state is highly unstable right now. Get out of here, mosquito. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick, may I recall the witness's statement about her attacker? That she didn't know if it was man or woman, adult or child. And yet, the witness could describe a person not standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah. In other words, that would have mean that Maya actually saw a misty person, despite being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her attacker. No! Why are you screaming, Maya? What did you do? Order, order, order. What does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Saying Miss Face saw the real killer under pitch-black conditions? Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? But that's not what I'm proposing. There's no other light source to the scene. It's not what I'm proposing. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now... Wait, actually, I am proposing that, apparently. I'm trying to cover for him. Cover for the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Ha. Your talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness have seen? I can see. I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Why is Maya so tense? Maya's dead set on protecting this guy, the man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother, but I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. The truth is the only thing that you can do. So get out of here, mosquito. Alright, Mr. Wright. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who knows the person that you say Mrs. Faye saw in the darkness? Oh, what? Who did she see? Well, I don't know. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people it could have been. And I don't think it's any of them. It could be Gumshoe, but it's not Gumshoe. It could be Godot, but it's definitely not Godot. Or Miles, or Larry. So... who is it then? I don't know. Is this an issue? I mean, like, I don't know anymore. Like, what? It's definitely not, like, it's not any of these people. I don't know. I'm just presenting Godot. Huh? Why'd the music stop? Because of pitch black, Mr. Fay was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure this court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show something like that? It's easy. It is easy? We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Get out of here, mosquito. Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in the courtroom be turned off. Yo, that quickly too. Judge? Well, this is... but it can't be. Ah. Godot? Whoa. Yo, Godot. That was a nice bit of deduction. Right. That's what. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. So now Godot's just defending himself. Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Well, you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ha. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Maya. I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man for a totally different reason. What? Yo, what does she mean by that? It's kinda sus. Witness, Mr. Wright, what the? Stop your chattering, Your Honor. You're chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... the killer. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone, and all the snow around the stone lantern had to be carefully cleaned up, too. Since the person did all of that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. What? So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. What? No need to apologize, as Mr. Godot said. You're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the criminal was a man. What? Okay, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. Totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. Torches were lit? Why though? Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, that's true. That's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. After all the snow around the snow lantern had been carefully cleaned up, too. Oops, I didn't mean to go back. Wait, I didn't go back. Removing the body from the pendulum, manipulating the crime scene, but for what purpose? Why do all of that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. Why would have that been carefully cleaned up? You're saying clean cleaned up the snow? Ah. Snow was removed in an unnatural rectangular shape. There are lots of shovels, but they're all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you see that a lot of victims' blood strayed onto the snow? Yeah. Here I collapsed and I ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. Yeah, there was no need to remove that amount. That is true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Like there are some mysteries behind this issue, but I think this will help explain them. I don't think so. Like, garden might totally change. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with a crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden. She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that that's why the killer... What? Cleaned up the crime scene? To make it look like nothing happened? So, we're thinking that Godot did it. Why would Godot do that? That's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I think more for my sake to clean up the evidence of what had happened. This is... Why could this have been the case? Wait a minute. Oh, snow. Oh, wait, there's new statements. The person did all the work alone. I assume it's... Yeah. No, it's not. Wait, what? Came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden place, it's only changed. I think it was for my sake. I had cleaned up the evidence of what happened. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. No, they didn't, because they didn't clean up the thing, the blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. The body of Elise Luceman was carried all the way to Hazakor Temple courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe that all of this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's a message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't he wipe the writing off the lantern? You're right. Order, order, order. But, Mr. Wright, isn't the fact that the killer is trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then that might buff the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. Objection. If that's the case, do you not have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written on blood on the lantern? Killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Godot, Godot can't see it. Early in the trial, unless you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that the crime occurred there. If that's the case, why they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. Torches are all lit up and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. Who could that be? It's Godot. Wow, we're gonna lose all our health if we don't get this one right. But we already know. It's Godot. It's Godot. This is what you said yesterday. My eyesight's pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case of Tribulations. Yep. He didn't see that either. It's an apron from the delightful Miss Bride was wearing at the time. Somehow spilled coffee on. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood color stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Ha! It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? You admitting that you couldn't see red writing on the lantern? Hey Gramps, didn't you know that's the reason why I don't drink red tea? Wow. Red tea? No way, I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Yo, why is there so much talking going on? Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. Oh, accusations? You are the murderer, Miss Deucenim, also known as Miss Misty Fey. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Ha. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written on there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, Trite. The answer's right there at the crime scene. In the snow? The snow? How so? Wow. That sounded fun. Well, for example, why didn't the killer move all that snow, Your Honor? You said it yourself. If they want to hide the bloody snow, why not take up just that area? Yes, why didn't they take just that area? Ah, could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow, and so had to remove all the snow. He couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? No, because they lit up the torches. The torches were all lit. They would have been able to see fine. It seems that once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Wait, just wait a minute. Maya? What is it, witness? Mr. Godot? Isn't the killer... After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up after that old bridge got fixed up. What? Fixed up? Maya, you can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I'm... What? Yeek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't... I'm afraid I don't follow. After... Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Oh, no. I'm concerned. Maya... Do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're gonna hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha. Nicely done, Trite. Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. That little girl was there at the inner temple too. Why'd you say it like little girl? You mean, Pearly? Pearly was also... I got the mosquito, let's go. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple of that side of the night. Next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearly? That's my little cousin, Profay. So when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry. But what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Well, come on, Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Ha, the prosecution is no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot, let's just move to the cross-examination if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright? Let's get this cross-examination started. Ooh, and Godot's like dotting to this. Alright, let's see. Pearly was also struck. The next morning, she looked around, but she couldn't find anyone. Next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. I don't believe you. So it was your first time on the inner temple? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot? Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's why I always say, if it hadn't have been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains? I think I'll pass. So he had never visited Hazakar Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? Ha. You want to say something, Trite? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. While I cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well. Please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the police and came over to the Inner Temple, right? Yes, then Mr. Godot. You found Pearly first and cheered her right up. What? You cheered her up? That's what Pearly said. He said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. And here I was, thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Ha! Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. Truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. Policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth clothes, so I decided to carry out an investigation my own way. Godot style. I'm I'm the same way. I like to hound out my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style. What? Okay, your investigation. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I didn't miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in a stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue of aroma of Western tales. Dressed in taste? Could you find a stranger way to describe Gravy? So then you headed for the prep room. Wait a second, what did Godot just say now? I think he had found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Deucenim. So when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple, yeah, no, you wouldn't have seen that, bro. Like, come on, think this through. Be smart. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusty Bridge and went to the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Oh, why did you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up, the hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll? But Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, hanging a scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? This morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing it was Misty Faye. Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark, then you could guess what it is. Guess that it was picture Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in a stunning Japanese garb. Surrounded by the Western... Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you one little thing, right? What is it? This whole theory of yours. It all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that the crime was going to be committed. That is right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? Why did I say it like that? Is it really impossible another person knew of the plan? I mean, I guess the letter. It was hidden. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in the Fay Manor for over a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how we knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. And you're saying this crafty killer is me? You bet I am. But you just said that instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Gold couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. No. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? That's illegal, because those are private conversations. Yes, it could be arranged if you're someone easily accessed in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor, such as Mr. Godot. Huh? No way. Order, order, order. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge, and you are the only one that could have acquired some information for the murder. What the hell is this foresight? Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinating and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. Sorry for always asking. What does that mean? It means that there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during the jail visit where he learned a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness? That's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. But then why were you talking so highly of her sister? I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. Killer's behavior was certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Ever considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all cost. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? What do you mean, huh? Okay, Trite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey inextricably, Mia Fey. That is correct. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you, after all. She is Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? Oh, right, because he's Diego Armando. I got it. I figured it out. With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out right now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot, his real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All this relates to a single case. Oh, a case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. In the end, Mia Fey couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando Mondo, a senior defense lawyer at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. He starts bleeding. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping of a client. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. Been 6 months in the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. I just remembered. 6 years ago, right in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. No, you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever after called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years and you got woken up by coffee? And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. Yo, that's Turnabout Sisters right there. We were there. We did that. Except you didn't do that. It was just me. Woo. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathe? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne. How? Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there's only 2 reasons left to live. I'm dying. It was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was huge, right? Me? I'm dying. I need to drink some water. If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Yefei never would have died, much the same way she did. What is music? You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living. She goes by the name of Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me? You are the only way I can make up for the sin of not saving Maya. 1 year ago, when the Korean village incident was involved, hey, that's another incident that we were part of. It was obvious that Morgan Fay was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center? I knew the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya. She never would have helped out. Finally, the day of plan was drawing near. I contacted both my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazakar Temple and Misty Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall of my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yet. Yes. What do you mean officially? Yeah, what do you mean officially, huh? You heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said the Master of Crane had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Face still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her, again, because of my position as prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stops thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then. Just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use